Welcome back, guys, to the Even If Podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Adrian, and I'm excited to be back with my brother, Luke.
Yes, sir.
Guys, we're just going to have another edifying, encouraging episode, and we just hope you guys enjoy season 6 as much as you've enjoyed the previous season. So buckle up. Let's get into it.
Even if they hurt me, you know I can't fall. Laugh that I rise and want me to stay broke. You know we chase God, we won't ever chase cold. Lies in the room that make me keep the table. Even in the fire, we tears hold. And we can lose it all, but God will bless us tenfold. We not afraid to lose because we been chose. Being hated and betrayed, but we still bold.
How are you, bro?
Tired, bro. I'm hurt, bro. I'm sore. Guys, give y'all a little backstory. We're recording Thursday. So we're recording 3 days after my car accident. I got hit by a semi truck. Yeah, I was on my way to work. Traffic, just standstill traffic back to back, and the truck just hit me like bang bang. So I'm a little sore, man. It was scary, but thank God I have people praying for me and covering me. Well, yeah, I'm here after running a 10K, getting hit by a truck, and we here to.
It was just a fender bender, nothing crazy.
It's nothing crazy, right? Got me sore, bro. Like numbness in my left arm and crap. But
you know what that makes me think about, and this is like gonna be completely left field, but like you worked at a chiropractor, and I remember you got into a car accident before, and you had to get your body in alignment, right?
Yeah.
And I just think about, like, from a spiritual sense, how many of us, we go through these spiritual car accidents and our spine becomes unaligned and then we think it's normal.
Yeah.
We have these different ailments that come because of the lack of alignment in our bodies spiritually.
Yeah.
And we think it's normal. We don't think it's anything crazy,
Yeah. Well, we talk, we become like casual, like I'm just getting old. I'm supposed to feel this way. And it's like, no, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to have 3 45-degree angles in your spine for a reason. That's how God made you.
Yeah.
So all your nerves can be functioning.
But it's like, you think it's normal for you to snap off at people
for
little things, right? That's normal.
I've been saved for 40 years, though, so it's okay for me to just talk crazy sometimes. I'll get right with God next week.
As believers and as children of God, how do we teach people what the signs are of what's normal and what's not normal?
Well, I think is as basic as, and I know for a fact we talked about this before. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there's any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. That's a posture that all Christians, all believers should take, because if we're really serious about that type of prayer, then there should be conviction. There should be discernment from the Holy Spirit to let you know when something's off with how you're operating. Yeah. Be it the big sins, the highlighted sins, or just the small pop-off moments that you do with your children or your spouse, or even the waitress at work, or even the person that cut you off in traffic. Like it's a posture and a position that we supposed to take as believers, no matter how long you've been saved. And I think if that's the heart of us, just that little. It's a little prayer, but it's a significant prayer that David wrote.
Absolutely.
Because it's I think that's every day of our life. Yeah. Because you can't cheat that type of prayer. No. If you pray it consistently, because God
He's gonna show it to you. Even if he was lying, you're gonna be exposed.
Yeah.
He's gonna start seeing stuff.
He gonna nudge you, bro. He gonna nudge you and reveal some things. Like we was talking off camera about the chiseling, and I know we'll get into that. But like, if God is the sculptor. When he starts to chisel away at that heart of stone, to get to the heart of flesh, you can't control how he goes about doing that. Yeah. Because sometimes he can start on the front and sometimes he come from the back or the side. Yeah. Like you don't get to dictate what that looks like. You just got to be okay with him doing the revelation, him revealing things, right? So.
And you know what else? Like some people, like when you grow up in certain type of environments where things are normal, heaviness is normal. Trauma is so normalized. And good. Sometimes you do have to understand that when you do come to the faith, and maybe you're not even in the faith, maybe you need to, you're exploring, but there's certain things where like you can you need someone to pull you out, right? You need to a certain extent, you need community, you need mentorship,
without a doubt.
You need guidance, you need someone who's been where you are or who can also search you, because God uses people as well.
Yeah, that's what he has to use.
Yeah.
Like that's how his word is guiding him. That's how his revelation is guiding him, because he uses us as his tools and his vessels. So if you're like isolated and you're a believer that say you don't need community, and you just have yourself on this island, and you're easy pickings for the enemy to distort and manipulate your whole view of your faith. Because now first off, you're not tied to nobody. Nobody's watching your six anymore. And so now it's easy to just throw stuff at you, and now you can sound like a prophet on your own without having any accountability. And that's literally what we finding. You know?
And that's good, the accountability piece.
Nobody wants that.
If you're praying and asking God, search me, oh God, if God gives you some accountability into your life, don't reject that person, right? Don't tell your wife to shut up, you know. Don't tell your friend, don't gaslight your friends who are trying to point things out of you that you need to grow from, that you need to let go of, you know?
Yeah, or even your husband. You can't shut your husband down if he observing some type of behavior. Yeah. Be it you as a mom or as a wife, or even you as a friend. Yeah. Like your husband can call some stuff out too, as much as the wife is typically the one calling her husband out. What we want to do is call them up. Yeah. You know, we want our language supposed to be in such a way to where we're calling them higher. Yeah. And not letting them stay at that like mediocre playing field. So. Yeah.
And I'm not trying to go too deep with this chiropractic, but it's just interesting because this is the second car accident you've been into that I've gotten, I know about. Yeah. And that first car accident you got into, I remember, first of all, the vivid thing that this dude is a beast. He said he saw this car coming and this man does something with a seatbelt and is just ready, like he's Keanu Reeves or something.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
He got his Tom Cruise on. I was freaking out, right?
Yeah, nah, I saw it.
But after that car accident, you went to a chiropractor, and the first thing they want to do is they give you drugs. They try to numb the pain.
Yeah, they tried to.
And how many believers spiritually, you went through trauma, you went through hurt, you have gone through these different things in your life, and the first thing we do is we numb ourselves, you know, or we live in societies in our cultures, or we live in different communities where numbing yourself is literally the only thing they know what to do. You know,
or you, let's say you become a new believer, and the first, after getting baptized, you coming out the water, it's excitement, it's joy, right? But the first chance of resistance, you only know to go back to what your flesh is used to. Because you're not, the thing about it, your flesh is now in conflict with your spirit. Yeah. And so the spirit knows that it wants you to be present in this struggle right now. Go to your Father. Let this difficulty, sit in this difficulty. Sit in this test, bro. Because the flesh is screaming, go back. When your spirit is saying, no, let's stay present. I need you to let's go low. It's time to go low, you know, because that's the opportunity with like, oh, now I see what the Christian faith looks like. Even though he made the ultimate sacrifice, there's some sacrificing we got to do too. There's some dying we got to do too. There's some surrendering we got to do too, right? And so now, God, I'm tired of going back to the bottle. I'm tired of going back to the lustful eyes. I'm tired of going back. Like, Lord, I need you. Yeah. That's what I need from you. That's what the Lord needs. He needs you to know that you need him in this struggle. He's not telling you you're not going to struggle. He's just saying do it with him now. Wow. You know, instead of just going back to making your flesh. Because what's going to happen is the second you go back to feeding the flesh, now that you're aware of your sin and conviction, something's going to feel horrible on the inside when you do it. Man. At first it's being desensitized, right?
Man, that's even better. And now you pretty much have to work your way back up to that desensitization, right? Yeah. That's so good, man.
Because now you're in your own mic.
Yeah. Now you know better. You know exactly what to and what not to do and what you're doing. But but sometimes it's valid, but you're using an excuse for how you used to cope. Yeah. You're using that as an excuse to cope like that again when we should be new creatures born again through Christ.
That's a dangerous way to go about going through any struggle too as a believer. That's dangerous, because then you can find scriptures to try to justify like why you go back to this struggle, and you just accept it as that, right? Like you just like, well, this is my thorn. I guess is what I'm supposed to always.
That's the best scripture to use.
That's the one I'm going to like. This is what I'm going to struggle with. Oh, so that's an excuse to continue living in sin.
Yeah.
and then going back to that when what's going to happen is you're going to be, let's say you be broken with it, right? Like you're like you just destroyed by going back to something, right? And the more you go back to it, you start to confess it less and less because you start to partner with the thorn and not that what the thorn is supposed to be working out of you. See, the thorn is there to purify you, like to cleanse you, to continue, because it's not supposed to be the same thing. The thorn is suffering. We're going to suffer. This is just part of the Christian walk. Yeah. But it's not to suffer and to be okay with the sin that you somehow stumble into or fall into. You can't do that. Like that doesn't make any sense because now you just okay with living a sinful life. The thorn is there because you're aware of the pain, you're aware of the tension, but the only one way to ease that pain is to go to the doctor. And the doctor who is the ultimate healer, right, is the Holy Spirit, because he will lighten that burden. He will lighten that pain, that difficult season. Yeah. It doesn't mean that he removes it completely because the next one might be something else. Yeah. It's always something else because you can't never get to a point in this walk where you good without him. Yeah. Because then you play right into the enemy's hands. So, bro.
Yeah, no, that's dangerous, and that's what he wants, man. And it sucks because how many people are out there? They're doing ministry. People are being saved, when's the last time they asked God to search their heart? You know, when the last time they, and it's like we can pretty much get there with the chisel thing. Like that example is so powerful because it's just like the constant refinement that God has taken us through, being purified in the fire. Yeah, it doesn't stop. We're going to be 80 years old and God's still going to be like, oh, look, you see that? You know what I mean? Like, but we have to allow him. I don't want to be one of them 70-year-old people, 80-year-old people who just talk crazy to everybody. And the excuse is that it's my age, you know, especially when I've met 80-year-olds who are warm, humble, patient, loving, like, so clearly it ain't an age thing. It's a you thing.
Bro, we were just doing the freaking, the
5K?
No, we was doing the Justice Run. I did the 10K, and I saw like this 80-year-old lady. She got to be like 85. I know her. Like she had to be doing the like half marathon, but she was like walking. She'll run a little bit and walk. And I'm just like think about that. How many people can't wait to get older having an excuse to do nothing? Like to just exist but not live. You know, like, bro, like, think about that. Like, especially in our generation, like, bro, I think we have an opportunity in our generation, us, to like, be the healthiest, like, 80-year-olds, like, later. Like, it's like we should get to 60, 70 and just be, like, walking upright. We ain't got no humpback. Like, we ain't got no, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no excuse for us. We got too many resources. Like, it's too easy. It's too accessible for us to be taking care of ourselves, like especially as believers, bro.
And that's how I feel with just like going back to the spiritual lens of all this, right? The fact that you can type up on YouTube a church or a pastor and you can get some information, or you know, you can be ministered to, or you can be delivered straight from your living room. It's like, why do you feel we don't? Why do you feel like a lot of us are in the same situation that we've been in? We're in this cycle. We're stuck. We say we want to be free from it, but we're stuck there with everything that we have access to. Why?
Well, I think, bro, and I could be wrong, but I think we are looking for voices to validate where we're at. You get what I'm saying? So let's say if somebody listen to us, man, JR and Luke don't know what they talk about. Let me go play somebody else. We gotta find a voice that makes it okay for where we're at, and that way I can continue to be on two sides of the coin. Like I can be lukewarm, like as a believer, like that. And I think that's the danger in it. And I think a lot of it we have to narrow our lens of who we're listening to. Yeah. And it starts with the local church. If you're not in a solid local church and you're not connected to your local church and community with your local church, right? Like serving, you understand the vision of the church, they preaching the Bible, you know, like it all starts like it's one step at a time, and then you're not bringing that's not translating to your house. If your house is out of order, far as like how the husband is leading and the wife is helping to lead that vision that he has, and then it's carrying over into the children, everything's going to always be out of whack, because the only thing you can do is mask it in the things that you guys do.
Yeah.
You can only mask it in so much imagery and so much fake reality before you realize that you still haven't let God like work on the thing that's been the issue. He still hasn't softened your heart and worked on the anger that's in you, and work on the bitterness or the sexual sin or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Because you guys only do community just enough to seem respectable, but you guys don't do it to the point to where you get challenged where you at. Because you think about the conversation like we've had as friends and brothers, even with our spouses, we've had like real conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We like praying for each other, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we do this stuff. But some people, they don't want to rub up against the sword like that.
Yeah.
They don't really want to be sharpened like that.
Yeah.
They just like iron sharpening iron because it sounds cool. They don't like it when it brings friction, because there is friction with that.
Yeah. What you're saying makes me feel like if you're looking to live a convenient Christian life, like you're going to be missing out on so much refinement. You're going to be missing out on the truth of the matter. Like I remember a couple years ago, Pastor Ken, he spoke about vision, and I went up to him like, man, yes, like I got convicted because, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he was able to look at and analyze my life and be like, Luke, no, this is not this is not how it applies to what you're going through right now. You need to look at it from this angle. So having that community, I'm not just sitting there taking it for how I think I need it, because the truth of the matter is somebody else looking at my life can see, bro, like you're going the wrong direction. Yes, you need vision, but the vision you're trying to cast is not even what is going to lead you to what you're trying to get at the end of the day. And I feel like that's actually really important. Like it may not be convenient to leave your house, you know, to go find a church, go on that whole hunt. But I think that's so important. Like along with what we're doing, if you're only relying on social media, or you're only relying on a 3-minute sermon on TikTok, you're going to miss out on so much context.
So much more. Yeah. That's a lot, bro. Like, and I think that's even how me and Erica have even got ingratiated into our new church, because of how Pastor Ken and Dana like pastored us. Like that's and how they continue to still pastor, just from how they discipled us for years. Like, you know, and really me, like Pastor Ken was really on me, like good. And that's the only way I'm able to serve how I'm serving now. It's the only way I'm able to be submitted, you know, how I'm submitted now in obedience, you know, because bro, that's what we struggle with. Yeah. Let's just be real. We struggle with getting out of our comfort zone and being submitted to God in a way where we don't know how to be humble. We don't know how it looks to take the low position. And I know that's actually what we want to, like, that's a good transition.
I don't even know. We got like 12 minutes left. We can just say that for the next one if you want. Save it. But no, like, add that though. We could talk about that, bro.
Yeah, no, it's like, I have to, and I confess this to you guys. I feel like I'm just now, and it's a year later of me, you know, living here and being at the church and being at Mercy Culture. And I feel like I'm just now realizing why God brought us here, you know, and why I'm serving and in the road that it's taken, you know, and I feel like it's still, you know, pruning is still happening, but he's also accelerating a lot of things, you know, just even having this opportunity now to do this production. Like I have never did like a production where like it's adults and kids. Like this is a big thing, like for me to do for my first time that I haven't done in years. But it's crazy. I don't feel like anxiety in me. Like I have a confidence because I know the gifts that God has put in me, and I'm so excited to use these gifts for his kingdom, right? But it's crazy how like I was resistant at first, you know, because I wanted it to look a certain way. Yeah. You know, and I don't even know how that way looked, but I just wanted it to look how I needed it to be right. Like I can't even communicate that, but that's real though. Yeah. Like, cause it's like God, like I did the move.
Yeah,
I did it. Like, my wife's happy. The kids seem to be doing well, but what about me?
Yeah.
And that was the struggle. But I feel like a whole year later, man, like on top of a lot of things, like the consistency, just staying with it, bro. Just staying, like hanging in there, being persistent in prayer, being persistent in dying, being persistent in confessing. I think that was I had to be honest with that because everybody that we know that made any type of move, we saw the end result. We didn't see the behind the scenes, and so we lived the behind the scenes.
Good. I like that.
You know, we live the behind the scenes out loud. You know, and like I got a podcast. You know, man. So I really ain't been shy about my frustration.
Man. That's good, man. Wow, living the behind the scenes, because you look on social media, and you, like we were talking earlier about just that Jackie Perry line. Yeah. But you look on social media and you hear these testimonies. Like, oh, I was here and God took me here. And it's like, wow, that's beautiful. It's amazing. But when God has you in that season and it's like, oh, this is what it really takes.
Yes,
like,
bro.
you just have to keep going. You do not feel like going.
Yeah, you don't.
Everything in you wants you to just, I'm packing back up.
Bro, I swear.
Oh, man, being able to live the behind the scenes. So I will ask you, so would you actually live in the BTS, right? Mm-hmm. What was the biggest thing that you got out of it that like just hit you like a brick? Like, wow.
That's last year. That's a good question, bro. Oh, man. I think the biggest thing, if I'm being honest, was probably the unity with my wife. Because we came out here, the obedience to go was unified. But how to live in obedience, we weren't unified. You know what I'm saying? So we both had different views on what that looked like. Her view was, we're here now. Let's be all in. This is what we need to get settled. And I was like, nah, I think we need to chill. Like, I'm not really trying to go to this church. You know, like, I don't really like it. I don't really know, you know.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, let's go visit this. And we go visit, you know, whatever. And I was like, nah, or I'll watch a church online. Like, it's the unity the disunity that was in conflict with my wife. Yeah. And watching how my home was, watching how we were at each other, the kids could see it, you know, they could feel that there was like tension. And all it took was one moment of me coming home from work at the job I had at that time and seeing my wife having a breakdown in the closet and the kids just sitting out of here quiet. And I'm like, where mommy at? I was like, she in the room, you know. And I go in there and she just a mess, you know. And so when I took a step back and I realized, like, wait, God, why am I here? Like, I didn't come out here for this, or this. I came out here because you said to go. This is where you want us to be planted. And I need to get my family, I need to pick us up and get us on board. And I got to start being the leader that I've been avoiding to be. And it was hard. But it took my surrender to bring us closer in unity and to communicate that. If I didn't know how to communicate that with Erica, man, we probably be back in Arizona, no lie, living in an apartment. But that's the biggest moment. Like, that's the biggest thing to answer the question is the unity was important, was significant from where we are now a year later, because we're so in sync about the direction that we're walking, you know.
I just love that, because that kind of like takes us back to the beginning of just being in alignment, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, if you're doing something because God, like if I felt like God told me to be married to my wife, if this is something that I believe is like a God thing, at no point can I do it without him.
Come on.
Right? So it's like with you, it's like everything you just now said, like the alignment starts with, okay, God. Mm-hmm. It wasn't feelings at all. You didn't feel like it wasn't feelings.
Facts.
It wasn't selfish ambition. It wasn't you chasing some sort of a dream. Since it started with God and you already know what the parameters he set was, it had to continue with him, and that's what you understood.
It had to. And so what my encouragement would be for anybody that's listening or even considering an act of obedience, because God has been developing you guys or like unctioning you guys to whatever it could be, it was to, first off, if you're married, you have to be unified all the way through. You can't be in unity on just the go. You got to be unified on how the go is going to look and operate once you get there too. And the unity comes from being in alignment with him. If Christ isn't the center of every decision you make, and when I say every decision, you guys have to consider him. And before we do this, Father, does this please you? And you guys have to be ready for the answer. He may say no. And you got to be okay with that. You can't force your will if his will is not going to be done. And that's for anyone that's single. You know, if God is telling you to go, the unity and being in sync with the Holy Spirit is also as serious as it would be with the covenant marriage as well. But yeah, we this was a good conversation. I hope you guys found it edifying, found it encouraging, and we're going to actually go into something else on episode 2. But thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy this and come back with us on the second episode of season 6. It's the Evening Podcast.
And if they hurt me, you know I